Baruch Hashem Chaf Beis Elul Shnas Hakel. Today is the 25th day in the limud of the Seder of the Daf HaYomi in the Hemshech of the Rebbe Rashab Tafresh Samach Vov. Today we're going to continue right at the beginning of the Maamer Toldos Noach, where the previous Maamer ended, discussing the difference between Ratzon of mitzvahs, which is Mamshech Atzon Sohos Mamash, which is Ratzon, which is higher from any sort of tzimtzum and not even shaykh to a level of mati v'loy mati, whereas Ratzon Sheba Olam, although it's higher than Zmanim, still shaykh and a makar Zmanim, and still contains this idea of mati v'loy mati, which although is by no means Ratzon v'shruv, still has some sort of a shaykhus to Zman, and that's why that at some point can become a makar of Zman, whereas the Ma'aseh Mitzvahs, the Ratzon of Ma'aseh Mitzvahs, is bli gvul mamash, because the Atzmos shines right through that. And with that, we'll start with here the Maamer Eila Toldos Noach. Noach is tzaddik. Pirashashi l'lamedcha ti'ikar toldoseim shel tzaddikim. The main births or children of tzaddikim are the ma'asim tovim. V'huma v'deshabim k'oimod. Ti'isa the Medrashabah says, Hodu d'chsiv pri eitz chaim, pri tzaddik eitz chaim. The fruit of a tzaddik is the tree of life. And he explains, Ma'in peiresein shel tzaddikim. What are the fruits of tzaddikim? Mitzvah ma'asim tovim. Mitzvahs and good deeds. Toldos, Uloshin Gilu. Toldos is revelation. This is what he says. Eila Toldos Noach. The Ikar Toldos Vagilum Shaloi. The main idea of Noach's children and revelations in mitzvahs and ma'asim tovim. We have to understand. What is he removing from here? We're saying it's ma'asim tovim. What is it not? What is he negating or excluding? The main Toldos are mitzvahs. So obviously we're excluding something. We cannot say that it's excluding the actual physical children of a person. We cannot say that that is not the Toldoseim of tzaddikim. And that it's not shaykh to revealed. That when we say Ikar is mitzvahs and it's excluding something, there's something which is shaykh to mitzvahs, Shugamkin Gilui, which is also Gilui, and it's also a Tulda. Not this other thing which we're trying to figure out what it is. Fine. What is the idea behind this? To understand this, we have to discuss what we said earlier. The Ratzon shall Brias Olam, the Ratzon of Brias Olam, like we just said, it is unlimited. It is the source of limitation. From this Ratzon, we cannot have an unlimited Gilui in time and place because it's limited. The Ratzon of mitzvahs is from the inner etzem of the Eibishter, Einsham Gam Makar Lagbala, there's no source of Agbala. So from this Ratzon we can have the revelation in Zman HaMakim. Fine. Who the source of this idea? It's known the Kav which is drawn to create the worlds. It's drawn down and skipping its worth, meaning it doesn't go in a direct line, rather it jumps around. This the idea of the first tzimtzum, there was the first tzimtzum, moved away all the air. There was an empty space. We stopped the air. All the air was now nichlal in the source, in the mar. And then the kav came out. Which all it is a light from the Eretz Shlif Netzim. Not the actual Eretz, it's a shine off the Eretz. The name Shach B'chinas Kav Mitzumtzam, and it's drawn down in a limited Kav. The middle of a mishkal, with a measurement and a weight, in a way that the worlds can handle. Like it's brought down in Eitz Chaim in Sefer Naf Gimel. Fine. Not Klal in a kav. The general idea of kav, to make things up and down. Shkasa Beitz Chaim Anaf Beis of Mavi Sharim Shar Aleph Perik Beis Barichus. If we would have the level of the Ernsev not through the Tzimtzum or not through Kav, which means not through Kav, going in a line, going up and down, everything would be equal. Because it's a Giluf in the Ernsev. And like any other line which has up and down, so too, the Olam which receives from the higher levels of the Kav, which is all the way connected to Ernsev, that's a Milo. Shemei Bergiler and Sefer Yosef has more of a revelation of the Eibishter. Kol Mashnim Shachyetzim with Vikusa B'Ernsev, and the further it gets from the connection to the Eibishter, Mishmaitar, it gets smaller. And it gets, that's considered Mata down. Same ideas in every sphere and every Olam. Even within each sphere, so we spoke about Olmas, the higher Olmas are Mila, the lower ones are Mata. Even within every sphere, which is in every Olam, also has a Mila Mata through the Kav. The way it's revealed in every sphere, there's the one that's higher up, which is more Mila, and the lower parts of the sphere, which are more Mata. And again, this is kind of intuitive when you have the idea of a Kav, a line, which the higher it up, the more connected it is. And therefore it's getting, in the case of the Kav, more of a which is of a higher quality, and then lower down it gets it's further away, therefore it's a lower quality air. Which comes from Vasharim umavur shab. Mishum zeh behechach loima behechach shielem kedima zelazeh. The oisa sphere shav becomes elyon v'nikar mila. The sphere which is up and called mila, which is up, it's earlier in its creation and its revelation on the lower madrega because it's closer and higher, and again it's going in an order of mila lamata. Which comes from Mavisharim, the schema das amatzil, the das, there's an agreement in the daya of the emanator. There should not be many lines to every single sfira. They would also be all equal. Ella, the difference of this kav to what we said earlier of no kav, which means the kav creates a mitzias. But now, if every place is getting a direct connection, but its own connection, then they're all equal. Because there's no, like we said earlier, hechech of kedima b'mayla and higher madregas of the kav. Each madrega is fully connected directly. It wouldn't be the same. It would be a mitzias, not like if there would not be any kav. Then, besides the fact that they would be equal, it would be totally nullified. The worlds would never become mitzias. All we would gain by tzimtzum then, like have all the gadol outside, and then nimshach shalei al de'akav. All we would have, the only gain would be that there would be al olamas. Why? What does this mean? The tchila before the tzimtzum, haya klum bar yosef shalifnat tzimtzum. But now they're being revealed. So because they're kind of taken out of all the and they're brought out in a makom panoi, you can kind of see what it is. But it's still fully davuk b'makareh because there's no kav which is limiting the that it's getting. It's similar like when you take a whole bunch of things together and you combine it, and then you take one thing out. Now that one thing is individualized, but it's the same exact thing that it was before. Kav makes that this thing that we take out now, that creates a new thing. But if Shalal Kav, then it would be exactly the same way that it was before. Now reality, this is how it is now. Because you have the Gila of the revealed Ernsev. There's no hidden thing of Tzimtzum. And the revelation of after Tzimtzum is equal before the Tzimtzum, Lagabi the Ernsev. If they're miyuchad legamri, what's the idea of Isavos? What's the idea of creation? They did create a world. So he says in the Indian the idea of Isavos is just that they were revealed. They were drawn out and revealed. And when something is combined, you cannot recognize it. They were drawn kiviyachol and revealed outside of the Atos. But they're still fully connected. So reality, it's that way anyway. With a kav, without a kav, in reality, it's the same thing. But if it would be without a kav, then it would also be legabi the ilms. V'hainu, shabitul v'ayichud ba'olamus, hu k'moy ayichud ba'oris. It's the same way oris are one. Iya v'chayur echad, the Eibusher is one with the oris. Chayur is one mamash. K'moy kinu ba'emes ba'olamus. V'oid yoser. Mitzad the Aaron Seif Shemer Aleim B'Gilui B'Diasi Yisbarach. It's even more one because the Aaron Seif, which is B'Diasi Yisbarach, that the Eibusher specifically wants it to be that way, which makes it even more a kulachat. So this is the way reality is. But K'moy Kinei Mer Aleim Aaron Seif Shalei Al De'akav Hayu B'Izgalus B'Efim Kazeh. If the Aaron Seif would reveal without kav, it would be this way revealed also. Aval Kasher Mer Al De'akav. Now that the Aaron is Mer through kav. Loya Aaron Seif Atzma Kvashur, and it's not the Aaron Seif exactly the way it is. And if not some Matthias becomes an Matthias. Avli Ma'ir Ribu Kavim, through many Kavim, like we said at the beginning of the paragraph. Hoyashav Madrigosim, Loya Ben Malamata, there would not be up and down. That's why there's an agreement in the Eibusher when he created the world. Liyas Nimshach Aaron der Kav Echad. Should be one Kav. Shenimshach Madriga, which then goes from one Madriga to lower and lower. Hanim Olam Elyon and Olam Tachtim, from the higher world to the lower worlds. That every lower level is created from the one on top of it. So to in spirits, every madrega goes into the next madrega. They're drawn one with another. So it's muchach, it's forced that there is a maila and mata and a kedima v'ichor in these oilams. If they would not be drawn one from another, which means right now we said an extra thing in the last paragraph, that not only they're nimshach to the kav milo mata, rather every oilam goes into the next oilam. So it's not just the kav, it's like the kav forcing its way through the oilam, and each oilam is creating the next oilam. So we're saying that's not necessarily necessary for milo mata, kedim avichor, because even if they would, let's say, branch off at different levels of the kav, but there'd be a milo and a mata, and it would not be ishtalshalos, it would not be one creating the other, there would still be mitzad avshachas min hakav. Then we could say that milo mata would be only in the worlds. But in the details of each sphere, even though they would have to be, their existence would be different. They would not necessarily, they would not have a milo mata. And for sure not a kedima v'echor earlier and later, because they would all come at the same time. Because every olam yesh medida echiyah, if nagilu there and sefer olam, there's a measurement, I guess, in the kav, how exactly the Aaron Seif goes into that level. Like we said earlier, the idea of the kav is midah and mishkal for each madrega. Whatever the measurement would determine in that olam, the general olam, should be all the details of the olam would have that same gilui, because there would not be a milo mat anymore. There would not be a kedima v'echor. Or this would also not allow to be a kedima v'echor, because one would not have to come before the other. To tell you, which are zet, it's one under the other, but not one nishtalshal to the other. They're not drawn one from another. And they do have moichin and midas, and our intuition wants to say that moichin is higher. But really, which they're taka divided in their existence. The midas, midas are excitement outside of your atzem. Moichin is connection with the atzem. They're still equal. Even in midas, which again, this is counterintuitive to what we know. It's meir gilu erv va'gilu k'moy b'moichin. There's no difference up and down in the revelation. And there's not one coming before the other. They all kind of come at the same time. They're all revealed together. We have to understand here the nafkamina of Maila and Mata and Kedima v'ichur. He says a befrat Kedima v'ichur earlier, but fine. Yesh la'ayin. When one is drawn from the other, So obviously there's Malamatik Dim Vichor. Even within the spheres. Okay? This idea of Zman HaMakom in Atzilus, B'chinas Milo Mata, B'chinas Makom Shel HaMaila, B'chinas Kedim Vichor, B'chinas Zman Shel HaMaila. Milo Mata is Makom, fine, maybe this is a hint to what the difference between Milo and Mata and Kedim Vichor is. Fine. So in addition to the kaf, creating different oiris in every level, the oilmas also have many parsois. Parsois is like divisions or blockades, I guess. Gambo oilmas saying which cause of the or curtains, I guess. Which cause of there b'tchilas either rabba or parties kamechad parso. You draw out one parso, you got a curtain or something stopping. The hainu b'tchilas parso sheb'taber the ak parso in Ak's Tabor, which goes to Yitzchak Sharon and Kudim. There's another division between Kesser and Atzilus. Uva Elam Atzilus, there's also a parson in Chachma Min Lazah, Shurin and Arakia, just a parson Al Gav Chivin Eloin, Chayun Eloin. The Kolshkim and Atzilus, the Bria and Bria Litzira, every Elam has a parson. Because goes to Yitzchak Sham, the Prince Parson Ak, which will Bria, in order that there should be able to be a creation. Chol Inyan HaParsois, the whole idea of Parsois will Halim Mitzvah. So we just discussed how Kav creates a Medida V'Agbala, and therefore makes different levels of Ur. The Ur by definition is lower at lower levels. Parsois, same idea. The whole Kavanah is Halim Mitzvah. Frata Parsois Shemin Atzil Sabriya, Shil Halim Alaster Ur Atzil Shloyer B'Biyah. Which that we need to make sure that Atzil doesn't get into Biyah. Is there a Parsa? So this again, it's clear that there is different levels in the Ur in every Olam. Unlike if there'd be a ribui kavim, where everything would be b'shav, and no parsa. The kayadua that parsois mchinas oisius anikroim doimim. Parsois are letters are called doimim she'emim ispashtos shum ispashtos klal, which don't spread out at all. Doimim, the idea of ispashtos is the opposite of doimim. Doimim is settled, not doing anything. Idea of oisius. V'amna monoreim adarch mashal b'oisius adibur. Hagam she'em doimim. So they do reveal seichel. Hashbaz seichel is also the oises adibur. The way you get seichel over is through speaking. So the earth seichel and midas in the heart come out through oises. So how do we say they're no amshach at all? So they're malim, because the earth seichel that comes out with dibur is not nearly the same like the earth seichel that's in your mayach and machshava. There's still megala ur, because God's a markamacher. He says, "V'hainu the yosin oisius mitzudarim, b'tzirufim l'fi oifen haseichel." When the oisius are organized according to the seichel, areim kelim al they become vessels for the ar. Shemislabish b'hem begilui umeir al yadam. That it gets revealed in it and it shines through it. Akasha oisius and built mitzudarim. When the oisius are not organized, the ein hafsek ben ois and there's no separation between one letter to another letter. Harei einam megalim. As the Ur, they cannot reveal the Ur. They block the Ur. Like the Oisis of a Kameya, which a Chacham gives you. So the idea is they have different combinations in Tzirufim which are unreadable and ununderstood. Oisis are built to be Sudarim. Why? Because to conceal the side, the holiness that's in them, or the secrets that are in them. This idea of the curtain and the separation of Maila. Oisis is built to be Sudarim. Should not be revealed the way it is. What we do get through the that penetrates through this separation, which is the that ultimately goes to the level under it, it's a of a child. Which is not at any level like the before the parsa. Like you cover over the sunlight. With a thick clothing, which is woven through strings one on top of the other. There's no holes at all. And the light can't go through. Through the fact that the earth pushes its way through the small little holes in the weaves, and the earth is totally different. It's not the same entity as the earth before. The same idea we could see in the parsa between Atzilus to Bria. Shulahalim al Ur Atzilus, which is here to hide over the Ur Atzilus, to Ur Sakav, that we should not get the Ur Akav Shlo Ur Begiluk Meshu. After it breaks through the parsa, that its entity changes, then Nikra Urshel Tulda. And it's called the Urshel Tulda. So today we started, again, in trying to understand the difference between the Ratz and Shalamayla of mitzvahs and the Ratz in Brias Olam. We started explaining the idea of the Kav, which the Kav creates Kedima v'Ichor, and the Kav is necessary to create Milo Mata Kedima v'Ichor. And we started also discussing about the parsa, where the parsa is also a player in this to create the block of the Ur, that the new Ur that comes through is a Tulda. But Vinishvi, the Olam is now one under the other, and the spheres in each Olam are also one under the other. A guten Tag, a freilichen Shabbos, und a freilichen Schnatzhag.